Hello, everyone. I am Natasha, your host for today. If you are new here, let me tell you, we create new English learning videos regularly to help you improve your English step by step and become more confident every single day. In today's masterclass, you will not only improve your English listening and speaking skills, but you will also build your vocabulary and strengthen your ability to hold daily conversations in English. This is not just a lesson, it is a complete practice session designed to help you train your brain to think in English, respond naturally, and express yourself more fluently. We are going to explore real-life conversations that you can use in your daily routine, from greetings to small talk, from asking for help to sharing your opinions. You will learn how to use natural and advanced English sentences in context. By the end of this video, you'll notice that you don't just understand English better, but you can also use it in practical conversations with more confidence and fluency. Remember, learning English is like building a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger and more fluent you become. And this video is your gym for English fluency. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you never miss a new English learning session with me here on English in Minutes. So, grab a pen and paper, or simply listen closely and repeat after me, and let's get started with today's English Fluency Masterclass. When you start learning English, one of the most useful things you can do is practice the key endings of conversations that happen in everyday life. These conversations may seem simple, but they are the foundation of fluency. If you can confidently talk about your day, ask questions, and answer naturally, then you can slowly move toward more advanced topics without fear. So let's begin with one of the most common situations, saying hello and greeting someone. Imagine you meet a friend, a colleague, or even someone new. A simple greeting can open the door to a longer and more meaningful conversation. For example, you can say, "Hi, how are you?" Or, "Hello, it's nice to see you again." Now let's practice together. I will say a greeting, and I want you to repeat it after me. "Hi, how are you?" Repeat it now. "Hello, it's nice to see you again." Say it slowly and clearly. Notice the rhythm and the way the words connect. This is how native speakers keep conversations smooth. Sometimes you want to make your greeting sound a little more advanced. Instead of just saying, "How are you?" you can say, "How have you been?" Or, "How's everything going with you?" These are natural, friendly ways to sound more fluent. Practice with me now. How have you been? And again. How's everything going with you? A good conversation always moves forward. So after the greeting, the other person usually gives a short answer, and then you can reply to keep the flow alive. For example, if someone says, "I'm doing well, thank you," you can respond with, "That's great to hear. What have you been up to lately?" This shows interest and invites them to share more. Let's practice this short dialogue together. I'll play both parts, and you repeat after me. "Hi, how are you?" "I'm doing well, thank you." "That's great to hear. What have you been up to lately?" Try it again slowly. Listen to the natural rise and fall of the voice. Daily conversations are like small bridges. Every bridge connects you to another person. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to cross these bridges and build relationships in English. And fluency is not only about perfect grammar, it is about being able to connect with people naturally. Now let's expand this practice into a slightly longer dialogue. Imagine you are meeting someone after a few weeks. You might say, "Hey, it's been a while. How have you been?" The other person could answer, "I've been busy with work, but I'm doing fine. How about you?" And you can reply, "I've been good too, just trying to keep up with everything. Do you want to grab a coffee sometime this week?" Repeat that conversation with me slowly. "Hey, it's been a while. How have you been?" "I've been busy with work, but I'm doing fine. How about you?" "I've been good too, just trying to keep up with everything. Do you want to grab a coffee sometime this week?" Notice how natural it feels when you add a friendly suggestion at the end, like asking to meet up. It makes the conversation more complete and shows that you are comfortable with small talk, leading into plans. Another daily situation is when you meet someone new and need to introduce yourself. Introductions are very important because they create the first impression. You can start simple by saying, "Hi, my name is Natasha. Nice to meet you." Or you can make it a little more advanced. "Hi, I'm Natasha. It's a pleasure to meet you. What's your name?" Practice these with me now. "Hi, my name is Natasha. Nice to meet you." Repeat it slowly. Now try the advanced version. "Hi, I'm Natasha. It's a pleasure to meet you. What's your name?" Say it clearly. When the other person introduces themselves, you can respond with something friendly. For example, if they say, "I'm Alex," you can say, "Nice to meet you, Alex. Where are you from?" This shows interest and helps continue the conversation naturally. Let's practice this full introduction dialogue. "Hi, I'm Natasha. It's a pleasure to meet you. What's your name?" "I'm Alex." "Nice to meet you, Alex. Where are you from?" Repeat it slowly with me. Feel how the words flow together. Building fluency means practicing these short but meaningful exchanges until they feel automatic. At first, you may need to think about every word, but with practice, your brain begins to process these sentences like music, without translation. Now that you can greet and introduce yourself, let's move into one of the most common daily life conversations. Talking about your day. This type of conversation is simple, but it is also a powerful tool for practice, because you get to use verbs, time expressions, and descriptive words that make your English more natural and advanced. Imagine someone asks you, "How was your day?" A very basic answer would be, "It was good." But to sound more fluent, you want to expand your answer and add details. For example, you could say, "It was good, thank you. I went to work in the morning, had a busy afternoon with meetings, and then relaxed at home in the evening." Notice how this answer gives more information and helps continue the conversation. Let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. "It was good, thank you. I went to work in the morning, had a busy afternoon with meetings, and then relaxed at home in the evening." Try it again, focusing on the rhythm. When you share details about your day, you make the other person feel more connected to you. And when you ask them about their day, you create a natural flow. For example, after answering, you can ask, "How about you? How was your day?" This simple question keeps the conversation alive. Now, let's build a short dialogue. "Hi, how was your day?" "It was good, thank you." I had a lot of work in the morning, but I enjoyed some free time in the evening. How about you? My day was busy too, but I managed to go for a walk after dinner. Repeat this dialogue with me slowly, one line at a time. Feel how natural it becomes when you add a little detail. Another way to talk about your day is to use expressions of feeling. Instead of just describing activities, you can share emotions. For example, my day was tiring, but I feel proud because I finished everything I planned. Or, my day was exciting. I met a new colleague and learned something interesting. Practice these sentences with me now. My day was tiring, but I feel proud because I finished everything I planned. Say it again. Now repeat this one. My day was exciting. I met a new colleague and learned something interesting. Notice how feelings add more color to your English and make you sound more expressive. Let's do an exercise together. I will say a short activity, and you add a feeling to it in your mind. For example, I say, I cooked dinner. You can expand it by saying, I cooked dinner, and it was relaxing because I tried a new recipe. Another one, I say, I went shopping. You expand. I went shopping, and it was fun because I found a great discount. Keep practicing this kind of expansion. It trains your brain to add detail automatically. Now let's move to another daily situation. Ordering food or drinks. This is one of the most common real-life conversations in English, and you may face it when you travel, or even when you live in an English-speaking place. The basic way is to say, I'd like a coffee, please, but you can make it sound more natural and advanced by saying, could I please have a medium latte with no sugar? Practice this with me now. I'd like a coffee, please. So, sin it again. Could I please have a medium latte with no sugar? Feel how polite and fluent it sounds when you use full expressions. Now imagine a short conversation at a cafe. Good morning, what can I get for you? Good morning, could I please have a medium latte with no sugar? Of course. Anything else? Yes, I'd also like a blueberry muffin, please. Sure, that will be $5. Here you go. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Have a nice day. Repeat this whole dialogue with me slowly, one line at a time. This is real English you can use immediately in daily life. When you practice ordering, you can also try variations. For example, instead of coffee, try tea, juice, or even food items. Could I have a green tea with honey, please? Or, I'd like a chicken sandwich with extra lettuce, please. The structure stays the same, only the item changes. Now let's practice another scenario, asking for directions. This happens often, and it is important to know how to do it politely. A simple way is to say, excuse me, could you tell me where the bus station is? Another version is, excuse me, I'm looking for the nearest train station. Could you help me? Practice with me now. Excuse me, could you tell me where the bus station is? Repeat again. Now try this one. Excuse me, I'm looking for the nearest train station. Could you help me? Notice the polite phrases like, excuse me and could you? These make your English sound respectful and natural. Let's create a short dialogue for this situation. Excuse me, could you tell me where the nearest supermarket is? Yes, it's just down this street. Walk 2 blocks, and you'll see it on your left. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Repeat it with me slowly. This is exactly how a real conversation might sound when you ask for directions. Now let's turn this into a practice exercise. I will give you a situation, and you create the question in English. For example, if I say library, you ask, "Excuse me, could you tell me where the library is?" If I say bank, you ask, "Excuse me, I'm looking for the nearest bank. Could you help me?" Try it with more places like park, hospital, or post office. These daily conversations, greetings, talking about your day, ordering food, and asking for directions, may seem small, but they are the true building blocks of fluency. By mastering them, you create a strong foundation that allows you to move into more advanced topics with confidence. Another very common type of daily conversation is small talk. Small talk might seem unimportant, but it is the glue that keeps conversations flowing. People use small talk to be polite, to start conversations, and to connect in a friendly way. And if you can handle small talk naturally, you will sound much more fluent and confident. One of the most popular small talk topics is the weather. It may sound simple, but it is a safe and easy way to start a conversation. You can say, "It's such a beautiful day today, isn't it?" Or, "It looks like it might rain later." These kinds of sentences are short, but they show that you can participate in everyday English conversations. Let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. "It's such a beautiful day today, isn't it?" Now again. "It looks like it might rain later." Notice how the intonation rises at the end, making it sound like a friendly remark. Now let's build a short dialogue around this. "Good morning. It's such a beautiful day today, isn't it?" "Yes, it really is. The sun is shining, and it feels so warm." "I hope it stays this nice for the weekend." "Me too. I'm planning to go hiking." Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These little exchanges create comfort and help Xian Ao connect with people naturally. Another small talk topic is work or study. For example, you can ask, "How's work going these days?" Or, "How are your classes this semester?" These are natural, polite questions that show interest in the other person's life. Practice these with me now. "How's work going these days?" Say it again. Now try this one. "How are your classes this semester?" Notice how polite and curious they sound. Let's practice a dialogue about work. "Hi, how's work going these days?" "It's been a bit busy, but I'm managing. How about you?" "My work has been busy too, but I've learned some interesting things recently." That sounds great. It's always nice when work feels rewarding. Repeat this whole dialogue with me slowly. This is exactly the kind of short but meaningful exchange you may have with a colleague or friend. Another small talk topic is hobbies or free time activities. You can ask, "What do you usually do on weekends?" Or, "Do you have any hobbies?" This helps open the conversation to personal interests, which usually makes it more enjoyable. Practice these questions with me. "What do you usually do on weekends?" Again, slowly. Now try this one. "Do you have any hobbies?" Say it clearly and naturally. Let's create a sample conversation about hobbies. "So, what do you usually do on weekends?" "I usually spend time with my family and sometimes go out with friends. How about you?" "I like to read books and watch movies when I have free time." That sounds relaxing. Do you have a favorite type of movie? Yes, I really enjoy comedies. Repeat this dialogue with me. This is the kind of practice that helps you gain fluency because you are not just memorizing lines, you are practicing real situations. Now let's do an exercise together. I will give you a topic, and you create a small talk question about it in English. If the topic is travel, you might ask, "Have you traveled anywhere recently?" If the topic is food, you can ask, "What's your favorite restaurant around here?" If the topic is weekend, you can ask, "Do you have any plans for the weekend?" Try making a few of these questions in your mind now. Small talk is also important because it often leads to deeper conversations. For example, if someone says they enjoy traveling, you can ask more details like, "Where was the last place you visited?" Or, "What country would you like to visit next?" This way, you practice not just short sentences, but full conversations that go deeper. Let's practice this deeper small talk dialogue. Do you enjoy traveling? Yes, I love it. I recently visited Spain. That's amazing. Where in Spain did you go? I went to Barcelona. The city was beautiful and the food was delicious. I'd love to visit Barcelona someday. What was your favorite part of the trip? Repeat this conversation slowly. Notice how it started as small talk, but then grew into a real conversation. That is the power of small talk in English. Now let's practice a reflection exercise. Think about your own life and answer these questions in English. What do you usually do on weekends? What was the last movie you watched? Have you traveled anywhere recently? Answer out loud even if nobody is listening. This will train your brain to produce English sentences more quickly and naturally. Another important daily conversation happens when you go shopping. Whether in a supermarket, clothing store, or even online, you need certain phrases to communicate clearly. The most basic one is, "How much does this cost?" But you can make it sound more fluent by saying, "Excuse me, could you tell me how much this costs?" Practice with me. How much does this cost? Now again. Excuse me, could you tell me how much this costs? Feel how polite and smooth it sounds when you use the longer version. Let's build a short shopping dialogue. Excuse me, how much does this shirt cost? It's $20. Do you have it in a medium size? Yes, we do. Would you like to try it on? Yes, please. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Repeat this dialogue with me slowly. These are the exact phrases you will use in real life, so practice them until they feel automatic. You can also practice asking about different products. For example, "Do you have this in another color?" Or, "Could you please show me a pair of black shoes in size 9? These sentences are a little longer, but they make you sound fluent and polite at the same time. Now, let's practice together. Do you have this in another color? Say it slowly. Now again. Could you please show me a pair of black shoes in size 9? Good. These kinds of sentences are very practical and will help you feel confident in shopping situations. Let's move on to another important area of daily conversations, going to a restaurant. Dining out is one of the most common situations where you need English, and it's also a great chance to practice polite and advanced phrases. When you arrive at a restaurant, the first thing you usually hear is, "Do you have a reservation?" If you don't, you can say, "No, I don't. Could we get a table for two, please?" If you do have a reservation, you can say, "Yes, I have a reservation under Natasha." Practice these with me now. No, I don't. Could we get a table for two, please? Say it again slowly. Now try this one. Yes, I have a reservation under Natasha. Notice how polite it sounds when you use "could we" instead of just "we want." Once you are seated, the server might ask, "Can I get you something to drink?" A simple answer could be, "Yes, I'd like some water, please." But you can also make it a little more advanced. Could I have a glass of sparkling water with lemon, please? Practice this with me now. Yes, I'd like some water, please. Now try. Could I have a glass of sparkling water with lemon, please? Repeat until it feels natural. Now imagine the server asks, "Are you ready to order?" You can answer, "Yes, I'd like the grilled chicken with vegetables, please." Or, if you need more time, you can say, "Not yet. Could we have a few more minutes?" Repeat after me. "Yes, I'd like the grilled chicken with vegetables, please." Now try this one. "Not yet. Could we have a few more minutes?" These small phrases give you confidence in real restaurant settings. Let's create a short restaurant dialogue together. "Good evening. Do you have a reservation?" "No, we don't. Could we get a table for two, please?" "Of course. This way, please. Here are your menus. Can I get you something to drink?" "Yes, could I have a glass of sparkling water with lemon, please?" "Sure. And for you?" "I'll just have a cup of tea, thank you." "Great. Are you ready to order?" "Yes, I'd like the grilled chicken with vegetables, please. And I'll have the pasta with tomato sauce." "Perfect. Your order will be ready shortly." Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. It's a perfect example of how real conversations flow in a restaurant. Now let's turn this into a practice exercise. Imagine you are in a restaurant and you want to order something different. I'll give you the item, and you try to form the full sentence in English. If I say fish, you can say, "I'd like the grilled fish with rice, please." If I say salad, you say, "Could I have a large salad with chicken, please?" Keep practicing with items like soup, pizza, or dessert. Another daily situation that often happens is at the doctor's office. This kind of conversation is very important because it involves health, and it's good to know the right words to explain yourself clearly. When you arrive, the receptionist might ask, "Do you have an appointment?" You can say, "Yes, I have an appointment at 10 o'clock with Dr. Smith." Or if not, you can say, "No, I don't. Can I make an appointment, please?" Practice these sentences with me now. Yes, I have an appointment at 10 o'clock with Dr. Smith. Say it again. Now try this one. No, I don't. Can I make an appointment, please? When you meet the doctor, they may ask, "What seems to be the problem?" You can answer, "I've been having a headache for the past few days." Or, "I'm feeling very tired and I don't know why." Repeat after me slowly. "I've been having a headache for the past few days." And again, "I'm feeling very tired and I don't know why." These kinds of sentences are useful because they describe your situation clearly. Let's build a short doctor's office dialogue. "Good morning. Do you have an appointment?" "Yes, I have an appointment at 10 o'clock with Dr. Smith." "Please take a seat. The doctor will see you soon." "Good morning. What seems to be the problem?" "I've been having a headache for the past few days." "I see. Do you have any other symptoms?" "Yes, I also feel tired most of the time." "All right, I'll run some tests to check what's happening." Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Practicing this kind of situation gives you confidence when speaking in real life. Now let's do a short exercise. Imagine you have to explain different health problems. If I say stomach pain, you can say, "I've been having stomach pain since yesterday." If I say cough, you say, "I've had a cough for a week." If I say sore throat, you say, "I'm having a sore throat and it hurts when I swallow." Practice forming these sentences in your own words. Another daily conversation you often need is when you go to the bank. This might feel difficult, but with the right phrases, it becomes much easier. For example, you can say, "I'd like to open a bank account," or, "Could I withdraw $100, please?" Practice with me now. "I'd like to open a bank account." And again. Could I withdraw $100, please? Let's create a short bank dialogue. Good morning. How can I help you? Good morning. I'd like to open a bank account. Of course. Do you have your identification with you? Yes, here it is. Thank you. Please fill out this form and I'll set up your account. Repeat this dialogue slowly. These kinds of phrases will help you feel confident in practical financial situations. To make your practice more advanced, try adding details. Instead of saying only, I'd like to open a bank account, you can say, I'd like to open a savings account, please. Could you explain the requirements? Adding a second sentence makes you sound more fluent and natural. Let's now explore another daily situation, traveling and using transportation. When you travel by bus, train, or taxi, you often need to ask questions or give information. These are very practical conversations that can help you feel more comfortable in real life. Imagine you are at a bus station. You can ask, "Excuse me, does this bus go to the city center?" Or, "Could you tell me what time the next bus leaves?" These are polite and useful ways to get information. Practice. Ice these with me now. Excuse me, does this bus go to the city center? Say it slowly. Now try. Could you tell me what time the next bus leaves? Repeat until it feels natural. Let's create a short bus station dialogue. Excuse me, does this bus go to the city center? Yes, it does. The bus leaves in 10 minutes. Great, thank you very much. You're welcome. Repeat this slowly with me. This kind of simple practice builds real confidence. If you are at a train station, you may need slightly different sentences. For example, excuse me, where can I buy a ticket for the train to London? Or, could you tell me which platform the train to Manchester leaves from? Practice these questions now. Excuse me, where can I buy a ticket for the train to London? And again, could you tell me which platform the train to Manchester leaves from? These are very practical phrases. Now let's do a train station dialogue. Excuse me, where can I buy a ticket for the train to London? You can buy it at the ticket counter over there. Thank you. Could you also tell me which platform the train to London leaves from? Yes, it leaves from platform 4. Perfect. Thank you so much. My pleasure. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Imagine yourself in this real situation. Now let's practice with taxis. When you enter a taxi, the driver might ask, "Where would you like to go?" You can answer, "I'd like to go to the airport, please." Or, "Could you take me to the nearest hotel, please?" Practice with me. I'd like to go to the airport, please. Say it again. Now try. Could you take me to the nearest hotel, please? Here's a short taxi dialogue. Good evening, where would you like to go? Good evening, I'd like to go to the airport, please. Sure, do you prefer the fastest route or the cheapest route? The fastest route, please. My flight is in 2 hours. All right, we'll get there in about 30 minutes. Thank you very much. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Notice how adding details makes your English sound richer and more natural. Let's move into another useful daily conversation, making plans with friends. This is something people do almost every day, and practicing it helps you learn how to invite, suggest, and respond politely. A simple way to invite someone is to say, "Do you want to grab a coffee sometime?" Or, "Would you like to go out for dinner tomorrow?" These are natural, friendly ways to start making plans. Practice these with me now. Do you want to grab a coffee sometime? Now say, "Would you like to go out for dinner tomorrow?" Let's create a short dialogue about making plans. Hey, do you want to grab a coffee sometime? Sure, that sounds nice. When are you free? How about Saturday afternoon? Saturday works for me. Let's meet at the cafe near the park. Perfect. See you then. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These are the kinds of conversations you will actually use with friends. You can also practice responding politely when you cannot accept an invitation. For example, if someone asks, "Would you like to go out for dinner tomorrow?" You could say, "I'd love to, but I already have plans. Could we do it another day?" Practice this now. "I'd love to, but I already have plans. Could we do it another day?" Notice how polite and friendly it sounds. Now let's do another plan-making dialogue. Would you like to go out for dinner tomorrow? I'd love to, but I already have plans. Could we do it another day? Of course. How about Friday evening? Friday works perfectly. Let's do it then. Repeat slowly after me. These conversations are short, but they are the real English you will need in everyday life. Now let's move into a very useful area, talking about your family. This is a common conversation topic, and it helps you share personal information and learn about others. You can start with simple sentences like, "I have a small family," or "I have 2 brothers, others, and 1 sister." Practice with me now. I have a small family. Say it again. Now, try this one. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. Let's create a short dialogue about family. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Yes, I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. How about you? I'm an only child. Oh, that must be interesting. Do you like being an only child? Yes, it has its advantages. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These kinds of conversations help you connect with people personally. To make it more advanced, you can describe your family in more detail. For example, I have an older brother who works as a teacher and a younger sister who is still in school. Or, my parents live in the countryside and I visit them every month. Practice these sentences now. I have an older brother who works as a teacher and a younger sister who is still in school. Say it again slowly. Now try. My parents live in the countryside and I visit them every month. These kinds of details make your English richer and help you practice more complex sentence structures. Another very important area of daily conversation is talking about your home and where you live. People often ask questions like, "Where do you live?" or "What's your neighborhood like?" These questions are not just about location, but also about sharing details about your life. A simple answer could be, "I live in New York." But to sound more fluent, you can add details. For example, I live in New York, in a small apartment near the city center. It's a busy area, but I enjoy the energy. Practice with me now. I live in New York. Now try the longer version. I live in New York, in a small apartment near the city center. It's a busy area, but I enjoy the energy. Let's build a short dialogue about where you live. Where do you live? I live in New York, near the city center. How about you? I live in a quiet neighborhood outside the city. That sounds peaceful. Do you like it there? Yes, I do. It's very calm and relaxing. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Notice how the sentences connect naturally. You can also practice describing your home. For example, I live in a 2-bedroom apartment with my family. Or, I live in a small house with a garden. These sentences use everyday vocabulary, but they help you build fluency. Practice these sentences now. I live in a two-bedroom apartment with my family. And again, I live in a small house with a garden. Let's create another dialogue about homes. Do you live in a house or an apartment? I live in an apartment. It's on the 5th floor of a tall building. Do you like living there? Yes, it's convenient, but sometimes it feels crowded. I understand. I prefer houses because they have more space. Repeat this dialogue slowly. Imagine you are saying it in a real conversation. Now let's move on to another important daily situation, going to the supermarket or grocery store. This is something we all do often, so it's a perfect chance to practice useful English phrases. When you enter a store, you might ask, "Excuse me, where can I find the bread?" Or, "Could you tell me where the milk is?" These questions are polite and easy to use. Practice with me now. Excuse me, where can I find the bread? Say it again slowly. Now try this one. Could you tell me where the milk is? Let's create a short supermarket dialogue. Excuse me, where can I find the bread? The bread is in aisle 3, on the left. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. This is a very real situation you might face often. You can also practice checking out at the counter. For example, the cashier might say, "Would you like a bag?" And you can answer, "Yes, please," or "No, thank you. I brought my own." Practice these now. Yes, please. Now try. No, thank you. I brought my own. Here's a short checkout dia. Log. Hello. Did you find everything you needed today? Yes, thank you. That will be $25. Would you like a bag? No, thank you. I brought my own. Great. Have a nice day. Thanks. You too. Repeat this slowly with me. This is exactly the kind of English you can use in daily life. Now let's practice another situation, talking about your job. Work is one of the most common topics in daily conversations, especially when you meet new people. A basic question is, what do you do? You can answer, I'm a teacher, or you can expand. I'm a teacher, and I work at a high school, teaching English. Practice with me now. I'm a teacher. Now try the longer version. I'm a teacher, and I work at a high school, teaching English. Let's create a short work dialogue. So, what do you do? I'm an engineer. I work for a software company. That sounds interesting. Do you enjoy it? Yes, I do. It's challenging, but I learn a lot every day. That's great. I think enjoying your work is very important. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Feel how natural it is when you share more than just one word. To make it even more advanced, you can describe not just your job, but also your responsibilities. For example, I'm a nurse and I take care of patients in the emergency department. Or, I'm a project manager. I lead a team and coordinate different projects for clients. Practice these now. I'm a nurse and I take care of patients in the emergency department. Say it again. Now try this one. I'm a project manager. I lead a team and coordinate different projects for clients. Now let's do an exercise together. I'll give you a job title and you expand it into a full sentence with details. If I say chef, you can say, I'm a chef. I cook meals in a restaurant and create new recipes. If I say driver, you say, I'm a driver. Iver packages around the city. If I say student, you say, I'm a student. I study biology at university. Try making your own sentences with other jobs. Let's move into another everyday situation, talking about hobbies and free time activities. This is a wonderful way to practice English because hobbies are personal, enjoyable, and easy to discuss. When someone asks, "What do you like to do in your free time?" you can answer simply, "I like reading." But to sound more fluent, you can expand your answer. For example, I like reading novels, especially mystery stories, because they keep me excited and curious. Practice with me now. I like reading. Now try the longer version. I like reading novels, especially mystery stories, because they keep me excited and curious. Let's build a short dialogue around hobbies. What do you like to do in your free time? I enjoy playing football with my friends. It's a great way to stay active. That sounds fun. How often do you play? Usually every weekend. How about you? I like painting in my free time. It helps me relax. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. This is a real type of conversation you can have with friends or even new people you meet. Another common free time activity is watching movies or TV shows. You can say, I like watching movies when I have free time. Or, to make it more advanced, I enjoy watching science fiction movies because they make me imagine the future. Practice these sentences with me now. I like watching movies when I have free time. And now the longer version. I enjoy watching science fiction movies because they make me imagine the future. Here's a short movie-related dialogue. Do you like watching movies? Yes, I love them. My favorite genre is comedy. Really? I like comedies too. Did you watch any recently? Yes, I watched a comedy last weekend. It was really funny. Repeat this conversation slowly with me. This is how you can naturally connect with people using simple but fluent sentences. Now, let's practice talk. About music. Music is one of the most popular topics for small talk and daily conversations. You can say, I like listening to music when I'm walking, or I love listening to classical music because it helps me concentrate. Practice these now. I like listening to music when I'm walking. Say it again. Now try, I love listening to classical music because it helps me concentrate. Here's a short music dialogue. What kind of music do you like? I enjoy pop music. It makes me feel energetic. That's nice. Do you have a favorite singer? Yes, I really like Taylor Swift. Oh, I like her songs too. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These are exactly the kinds of conversations people have every day. Now, let's practice another daily situation, talking about the weather in more detail. Earlier, we practiced simple sentences like, it's a beautiful day, but you can expand to sound more advanced. For example, it's a little chilly today, but the sun is shining, so it feels nice. Or, it's raining heavily, and I forgot my umbrella, so I'm completely wet. Practice these now. It's a little chilly today, but the sun is shining, so it feels nice. Now, try. It's raining heavily, and I forgot my umbrella, so I'm completely wet. These sentences help you add more description. Let's make a short dialogue about weather. Hi, how are you today? I'm fine, but it's so hot outside. I was sweating on my way here. Yes, the summer is really strong this year. I know. I can't wait for autumn. The cooler weather will be much better. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. This is how natural weather conversations usually sound. Now let's practice talking about routines. Routines are important because they help you practice verbs and time expressions. A simple sentence is, I wake up at 7 o'clock every day. But you can expand it into, I wake up at then o'clock every day, then I take a shower, have breakfast, and go to work. Practice this with me now. I wake up at 7 o'clock every day. Now try the longer version. I wake up at 7 o'clock every day, then I take a shower, have breakfast, and go to work. Here's a short routine dialogue. What time do you usually wake up? I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. How about you? I wake up at 6 because I like to exercise in the morning. That's healthy. I wish I could wake up that early. It's not easy, but it makes me feel good. Repeat this conversation slowly with me. Talking about routines is a great way to improve your fluency because you can practice describing your life step by step. Now let's do a short practice exercise. I'll give you a time and you create a routine sentence. If I say 8 o'clock, you can say, I usually have breakfast at 8 o'clock. If I say 10 o'clock, you can say, I usually start work at 10 o'clock. If I say 9 o'clock at night, you can say, I usually go to bed at 9 o'clock at night. Keep practicing with other times, and soon your daily routine sentences will flow naturally. Another important daily conversation happens when you meet people socially for the first time and need to keep the conversation going. One of the easiest ways is to ask about their interests, their work, or where they are from. For example, where are you from? Or, what do you usually do on weekends? Practice these questions with me. Where are you from? And again, what do you usually do on weekends? Here's a sample first meeting dialogue. Hi, it's nice to meet you. Where are you from? I'm from Canada. How about you? I'm from India. That's wonderful. Do you like living here? Yes, I do. It's very different, but I enjoy the experience. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These are the simple but powerful building blocks of real communication. Now, let's move into another daily life area, talking about shopping for clothes. This is a situation where you often need English, especially if you are in a store in another country. You might begin by asking, Excuse me, do you have this shirt in a larger size? Or, could I try this jacket on, please? These sentences are short, but they make you sound polite and fluent. Practice with me now. Excuse me, do you have this shirt in a larger size? Say it again slowly. Now try. Could I try this jacket on, please? Repeat until it feels natural. Here's a short clothing store dialogue. Excuse me, do you have this shirt in a larger size? Yes, we do. Would you like to try it on? Yes, please. Where are the fitting rooms? They're at the back of the store. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These are real sentences you can use every time you shop for clothes. You can also ask about colors or styles. For example, do you have this in black? Or, could you show me something similar but in a different style? Practice these now. Do you have this in black? Say it clearly. Now try. Could you show me something similar but in a different style? These sentences make your English richer and more polite. Now let's practice another daily situation, visiting friends at their home. When you arrive, it's polite to say something friendly. For example, thank you for inviting me. Your home is beautiful. Or, it's so nice to be here. I really appreciate your hospitality. Practice these sentences now. Thank you for inviting me. Your home is beautiful. Say it again. Now try. It's so nice to be here. I really appreciate your hospitality. Here's a short dialogue you might use when visiting. Hi, thank you for inviting me. Your home is beautiful. Thank you. Please come in. Would you like something to drink? Yes, I'd love some water, please. Of course. Make yourself comfortable. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These are natural and polite sentences that show respect when you visit someone. Now let's move to another important daily conversation, at school or in class. If you are a student, you may need to ask your teacher questions. For example, excuse me, could you explain that again, please? Or, I didn't understand this word, could you help me? Practice these sentences with me now. Excuse me, could you explain that again, please? Now try, I didn't understand this word, could you help me? These are simple but very polite ways to ask for help. Here's a short classroom dialogue. Excuse me, could you explain that again, please? Of course, let me give you another example. Thank you, that really helps. You're welcome. Don't hesitate to ask if you need more clarification. Repeat this slowly with me. Practicing these types of sentences helps you feel more confident in academic or learning environments. Another useful area of conversation is talking about your feelings and emotions. Being able to express how you feel makes your English more natural and human. For example, you can say, I feel happy today because I finished my project, or I feel nervous because I have an interview tomorrow. Practice these with me. I feel happy today because I finished my project. Now try, I feel nervous because I have an interview tomorrow. Here's a short dialogue about feelings. How are you feeling today? I feel excited because I'm going on a trip tomorrow. That's wonderful. Where are you going? I'm going to Paris for a week. Wow, that sounds amazing. I hope you have a great time. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Conversations about feelings help you connect more deeply with people. Now, let's do a quick exercise. I will give you an emotion, and you expand it into a full sentence. If I say tired, you can say, I feel tired because I worked late last night. If I say angry, you can say, I feel angry because I missed the bus. If I say proud, you can say, I feel proud because I helped my friend with her exam. Keep practicing until these sentences flow naturally. Let's now practice another daily life situation, making phone calls. Many learners find phone calls difficult because you cannot see the person, but with practice, you can handle them easily. When you call someone, you can start by saying, Hello, this is Natasha. May I speak to John, please? Or, if you are answering the phone, you can say, Hello, who's calling, please? Practice these now. Hello, this is Natasha. May I speak to John, please? Say it again slowly. Now try, Hello, who's calling, please? Here's a short phone call dialogue. Hello, this is Natasha. May I speak to John, please? Hi, Natasha. This is John. How are you? I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to confirm our meeting tomorrow. Sure, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, right? Yes, that's correct. See you then. Perfect. Have a good evening. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Phone call practice helps you feel ready for real-life communication without stress. Another everyday situation you need English for is going to the post office. This may not seem common, but when you need to send a letter or a package, these phrases will help you sound clear and confident. You can say, Excuse me, I'd like to send this package to the United States. Or, how much does it cost to send a letter to Canada? Practice with me now. Excuse me, I'd like to send this package to the United States. Say it again slowly. Now try. How much does it cost to send a letter to Canada? Here's a short post office dialogue. Good morning. How can I help you? Good morning. I'd like to send this package to the United States. Of course. Do you want standard delivery or express delivery? Express delivery, please. How much does it cost? It's $30. All right, thank you very much. You're welcome. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Notice how natural it sounds when you add polite phrases. Another important conversation is at the pharmacy. When you go to buy medicine, you may need to explain what you are looking for. For example, excuse me, I'd like something for a headache. Or, do you have any medicine for a cold? Practice these now. Excuse me, I'd like something for a headache. Now say, do you have any medicine for a cold? Here's a short pharmacy dialogue. Excuse me, I'd like something for a headache. Sure, we have this pain relief medicine. Would you like tablets or syrup? Tablets, please. Here you go. Take 1 tablet every 6 hours. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Practicing these kinds of sentences helps you stay confident in health-related situations. Now, let's practice another type of conversation, talking about your plans for the future. This is a very natural way to connect with people and share more about yourself. You can say, I'm planning to travel to Italy next year. Or, I'd like to learn a new language in the future. Practice these sentences with me now. I'm planning to travel to Italy next year. Say it again slowly. Now try. I'd like to learn a new language in the future. Here's a short dialogue about future plans. What are your plans for next year? I'm planning to travel to Italy and study art history. That sounds exciting. How long will you stay there? Probably for 3 months. I want to really experience the culture. I'm sure it will be amazing. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These conversations allow you to practice more advanced grammar, like going to or planning to. Now let's practice another common topic, giving directions. Earlier we practiced asking for directions, but now let's focus on how to give them. For example, go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left. The bank is on your right. Or, walk down this street until you see the park, then turn right. The library is across from the school. Practice these with me now. Go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left. The bank is on your right. Now try, walk down this street until you see the park, then turn right. The library is across from the school. Here's a short giving directions dialogue. Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the library? Sure. Walk down this street until you see the park, then turn right. The library is across from the school. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Repeat this dialogue slowly. Giving directions is just as important as asking for them, so practice both sides. Another daily conversation topic is food and cooking. Many people enjoy talking about what they eat, so it's a great way to practice English. You can say, I like cooking pasta because it's easy and delicious. Or, my favorite food is sushi because it's fresh and healthy. Practice with me now. I like cooking pasta because it's easy and delicious. Now try, my favorite food is sushi because it's fresh and healthy. Here's a short food-related dialogue. What's your favorite food? My favorite food is sushi because it's fresh and healthy. How about you? I really like pizza. It's simple, but it's my comfort food. Pizza is always a good choice. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Food conversations are simple but full of opportunities to practice adjectives and opinions. Now let's expand this with a cooking example. You can say, "Yesterday, I cooked chicken curry for dinner. It took 1 hour, but it was delicious." Or, "I enjoy baking cakes on weekends because it makes me feel creative." Practice these sentences now. Yesterday, I cooked chicken curry for dinner. It took 1 hour, but it was delicious. Say it again slowly. Now try. I enjoy baking cakes on weekends because it makes me feel creative. Charsi. Food conversations are excellent because they allow you to describe, to share your experiences, and to connect with others over something everyone enjoys. Let's now practice another common area of conversation, talking about travel and vacations. This is one of the most interesting topics to discuss, and it often leads to long and enjoyable conversations. A simple way to start is by saying, "I love traveling. My favorite trip was to Paris last year." Or, "I enjoy visiting new countries because I like learning about different cultures." Practice these sentences with me now. I love traveling. My favorite trip was to Paris last year. Say it again slowly. Now try. I enjoy visiting new countries because I like learning about different cultures. Here's a short travel dialogue. Do you enjoy traveling? Yes, I love it. My favorite trip was to Paris last year. That's amazing. What did you like the most about Paris? I really enjoyed visiting the Eiffel Tower and trying French food. That sounds wonderful. I'd love to go there someday. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These are real questions and answers that people often use when talking about travel. You can also practice talking about future travel. For example, I'm planning to visit Japan next year. Or, I'd like to go to Australia because I want to see the Great Barrier Reef. Practice these now. I'm planning to visit Japan next year. And again, I'd like to go to Australia because I want to see the Great Barrier Reef. Now, let's make a short dialogue about future travel. What countries would you like to visit in the future? I'd like to go to Japan because I'm interested in the culture. That's a great choice. I'd like to visit Australia. Really? What do you want to see there? I want to see the Great Barrier Reef and explore Sydney. Repeat this slowly with me. Travel conversations are perfect for practicing fluency because they naturally involve opinions, plans, and experiences. Now let's practice another important situation. At the airport. This can feel stressful, but knowing the right phrases makes it easier. At the check-in counter, you can say, "Hello, I'd like to check in for my flight to London," or, "Could I please have a window seat if possible?" Practice these sentences now. Hello, I'd like to check in for my flight to London. Say it again. Now try. Could I please have a window seat if possible? Here's a short airport dialogue. Good morning. Where are you flying today? Good morning. I'm flying to London. I'd like to check in, please. Of course. Do you have any luggage to check? Yes, one suitcase. Here is your boarding pass. Your gate is number 20. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Have a safe flight. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. This is exactly what you may hear at an airport. Now, let's practice going through security. The officer might ask, "Do you have any liquids in your bag?" You can answer, "Yes, I have a small bottle of water." Or, No, I don't. Practice these now. Yes, I have a small bottle of water. Now say, no, I don't. Airports also include conversations about customs. For example, the officer may ask, "What is the purpose of your visit?" You can answer, "I'm here for vacation," or "I'm here for business meetings." Practice these sentences now. I'm here for vacation. Say it again. Now try. I'm here for business meetings. Here's a short customs dialogue. Good afternoon. What is the purpose of your visit? I'm here for vacation. How long will you stay? I'll be staying for 2 weeks. Do you have anything to declare? No, I don't. All right, enjoy your stay. Thank you. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These are the exact kinds of questions and answers you'll face when traveling internationally. Now, let's move into another type of daily conversation. Talking about health and lifestyle. Is a topic people often use in friendly discussions. For example, I try to exercise 3 times a week, or I enjoy going for walks in the evening to relax. Practice these sentences now. I try to exercise 3 times a week. Now say, I enjoy going for walks in the evening to relax. Here's a short, health-related dialogue. Do you usually exercise? Yes, I try to exercise 3 times a week. How about you? I usually go jogging on weekends. That's great. Exercise really helps me reduce stress. Me too. It gives me more energy. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Talking about health is a natural way to practice English and build meaningful conversations. You can also talk about food habits. For example, I try to eat healthy meals during the week, but I enjoy eating pizza on weekends. Or, I don't drink much soda because I prefer water and juice. Practice these sentences now. I try to eat healthy meals during the week, but I enjoy eating pizza on weekends. Now try. I don't drink much soda because I prefer water and juice. Food, health, and exercise are always good conversation topics because they are easy, relatable, and personal. Let's now move into another very useful conversation topic, talking about technology and daily communication. In today's world, we all use phones, computers, and the internet, so being able to discuss them in English is very practical. You can start with simple sentences like, I use my phone every day to check messages, or you can expand it to sound more fluent. I use my phone every day to check messages, read the news, and connect with my friends on social media. Practice these with me now. I use my phone every day to check messages. Say it again slowly. Now try the longer version. I use my phone every day to check messages, read the news, and connect with my friends on social media. Here's a short technology dialogue. Do you use social media a lot? Yes, I use it every day to stay in touch with friends. How about you? I use it sometimes, but I try not to spend too much time on it. That's smart. Too much social media can be distracting. I agree. Balance is important. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Conversations about technology are common everywhere, so practicing them will make you feel more natural. Another useful way to practice English is talking about daily communication tools like email or messaging apps. You can say, I usually check my email in the morning, or I prefer sending voice messages because it feels more personal. Practice these sentences now. I usually check my email in the morning. Say it again. Now try. I prefer sending voice messages because it feels more personal. Let's build a short dialogue. How do you usually communicate with your colleagues? I usually send emails in the morning. How about you? I prefer using chat apps because they're faster. That makes sense. Chatting is quick and convenient. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. This is exactly the type of conversation you might have at work or school. Now let's move into another common topic, talking about learning English itself. Learners often discuss their progress, challenges, and methods. You can say, I'm learning English because I want to travel more easily. Or, I practice English every day by listening to podcasts and repeating sentences. Practice these with me now. I'm learning English because I want to travel more easily. Now try. I practice English every day by listening to podcasts and repeating sentences. Here's a short learning English dialogue. Why are you learning English? I'm learning English because I want to get a better job. How about you? I'm learning because I love traveling and English helps me communicate everywhere. That's a great reason. It really opens many doors. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These conversations are perfect practice. You will definitely talk about your learning journey at some point. Now let's practice another area of conversation, talking about current events and news. This is a bit more advanced, but it is very useful for fluency. You can say, I read the news every morning to stay updated. Or, I saw an interesting story about technology yesterday. Practice these sentences with me now. I read the news every morning to stay updated. Say it again slowly. Now try. I saw an interesting story about technology yesterday. Here's a short news-related dialogue. Do you usually follow the news? Yes, I read the news every morning. How about you? I usually watch the news on TV in the evening. That's good. It's important to stay informed. Yes, but sometimes the news can be overwhelming. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Talking about news can help you practice vocabulary for opinions and daily updates. Now let's shift to another very common and friendly conversation topic, sports. Even if you don't play sports, you can always talk about them in small talk. You can say, I like watching football on weekends, or I play tennis twice a week with my friends. Practice these sentences now. I like watching football on weekends. Now try. I play tennis twice a week with my friends. Here's a short sports dialogue. Do you like sports? Yes, I like watching football on weekends. How about you? I play tennis twice a week with my friends. That's great. Sports are a good way to stay healthy. Exactly. And they're also fun. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Sports are a great topic because they are common and easy to talk about in many cultures. Now, let's do a practice exercise. I will give you a sport, and you make a sentence about it. If I say basketball, you can say, I play basketball every Saturday with my friends. If I say swimming, you say, I enjoy swimming in the summer because it keeps me cool. If I say cricket, you say, I like watching cricket matches with my family. Keep practicing like this with different sports. Another very common area of conversation is talking about celebrations and holidays. People love sharing how they celebrate special occasions. And it's a great chance for you to practice vocabulary about traditions, food, and family. You can start with a simple sentence like, I usually celebrate my birthday with my family at home, or expand it. I usually celebrate my birthday with my family at home, and we have a big dinner together. Sometimes my friends join us, and we play games. Practice these now. I usually celebrate my birthday with my family at home. Now try the longer version. I usually celebrate my birthday with my family at home, and we have a big dinner together. Sometimes my friends join us, and we play games. Here's a short holiday dialogue. How do you usually celebrate your birthday? I usually celebrate with my family at home. We cook dinner and eat cake together. How about you? I usually go out with my friends, and we have dinner at a restaurant. That sounds fun. Do you get presents? Yes, sometimes. I always feel happy on my birthday. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Talking about birthdays is one of the most natural conversations you'll have in English. You can also talk about bigger holidays like Christmas, New Year, or cultural festivals. For example, on New Year's Eve, I usually watch fireworks with my family. Or, during Christmas, we decorate the tree and exchange gifts. Practice these with me now. On New Year's Eve, I usually watch fireworks with my family. Say it again slowly. Now try. During Christmas, we decorate the tree and exchange gifts. Here's a short holiday dialogue. What do you usually do on New Year's Eve? I usually watch fireworks with my family and make resolutions for the new year. How about you? I usually spend time with friends. We stay up late and celebrate together. That sounds exciting. I like the feeling of starting fresh every new year. Me too. It always feels like a new beginning. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These kinds of conversations are easy to connect with because everyone celebrates something. Now let's practice another important type of conversation, talking about opinions. Sharing your opinion in English helps you sound confident and advanced. A simple way is to say, I think. For example, I think reading books is a good way to learn. Or you can use, in my opinion, such as, in my opinion, learning English every day is better than studying once a week. Practice these now. I think reading books is a good way to learn. Say it again. Now try. In my opinion, learning English every day is better than studying once a week. Here's a short dialogue about opinions. What do you think is the best way to learn English? I think practicing speaking every day is the best way. How about you? In my opinion, listening to English podcasts is very helpful. Yes, that's true. Both speaking and listening are important. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Expressing opinions helps you move from simple conversations to deeper discussions. Now let's practice talking about likes and dislikes. This is very common in daily conversations and helps you express your personality. You can say, I like reading books in the evening, or I don't like waking up early. Practice these now. I like reading books in the evening. Say it again. Now try. I don't like waking up early. Here's a short dialogue about likes and dislikes. What do you like to do? Oh, in the evening? I like reading books or watching TV. How about you? I don't like watching TV. I prefer listening to music. That's interesting. Music is relaxing. Yes, it helps me feel calm. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These conversations may seem simple, but they are very useful in building fluency. Now let's move to another practical area. At the hotel. If you travel, you will often need to book a room or ask for services. At reception, you can say, "Hello, I'd like to book a room for 2 nights." Or, "Could I have a room with a window, please?" Practice these sentences with me now. "Hello, I'd like to book a room for 2 nights." Now try. "Could I have a room with a window, please?" Here's a short hotel dialogue. Good evening. How can I help you? Good evening. I'd like to book a room for 2 nights. Of course. Would you prefer a single room or a double room? A double room, please. Here are your keys. Your room is on the 3rd floor. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Enjoy your stay. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. These phrases are simple, but very important when traveling. Now let's practice another daily situation, asking for help in public. Sometimes you may need to ask someone politely for assistance. For example, "Excuse me, could you help me carry this bag?" Or, "Excuse me, could you please take a picture of me?" Practice these sentences now. "Excuse me, could you help me carry this bag?" Say it again slowly. Now try. "Excuse me, could you please take a picture of me?" Here's a short dialogue about asking for help. "Excuse me, could you please take a picture of me?" Of course, just stand over there. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Have a nice day. Repeat this dialogue slowly with me. Asking for help in polite ways makes you sound more natural in English. Another important daily life conversation is talking about your goals and dreams. These are deeper topics, but they are wonderful